Now that we've demonstrated the proper application of absorbent disposable incontinence products, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of selecting the proper size, type, and applying the product correctly. If you are choosing an absorbent disposable incontinent product as a method to manage your resident's incontinent episode or to augment other treatment, please consider the following tips to troubleshoot potential concerns such as leakage, skin irritation, blisters, tearing, and poor fit. If the resident is experiencing leakage, make sure the correct size of product is being used based on the resident's measurements of hips or thighs, whichever is the largest measurement. Center the product correctly in the perineal area and align the wetness indicator with the resident's spinal column. In male residents, make sure that the penis is pointed downward for proper containment. Assess excessive use of petrolatum barriers, such as A&D ointment or Vaseline, which may actually clog the product. Consider dimethicone or silicone-based barriers instead. Evaluate absorbency and change rate. For example, a resident with chronic diarrhea or a high fluid intake may require an extended wear product for the time being. For pant and liner systems, make sure that the underpants are being used with the liners. Observe product application by staff to make sure that the correct technique is used. Arrange for staff in-services on proper application of absorbent disposable products. If the resident is experiencing skin irritation, make sure the plastic backing is not touching the skin. Check that the product size is correct for that resident. If I go into a facility and every resident is wearing a size large, for example, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the resident and the size of that resident. Is every resident in your facility a size large? Check that the poly of the leg gathers is facing out. Make sure proper perineal care is being performed with each incontinent episode. Assess residents' history and potential for skin breakdown. Evaluate the absorbency and change rate. If a resident is experiencing blisters, check the application technique. Make sure the correct size is being used. Prevent the plastic from touching the skin. Ensure that leg cuffs are placed tightly in the creases between the perineal area and the thighs. If the product is tearing, don't use the product as a turning sheet, and make sure that the in-servicing is done to provide proper application technique. If the product is not fitting properly or is not comfortable on the resident, measure the hips and the thighs again. The larger of the two determines the size of the product to be using. Check the tape tabs to make sure that they are fastened symmetrically on both sides. I hope that you find the troubleshooting tips helpful, and remember, you can make a difference.